Hey guys, today we have a topic about collecting etiquette and ethics. So I'm going to do a series, a running series about collecting garbage pail kid ethics. What this one's about is basically, so when an item comes up for sale, like in garbage pail kids, there's certain, it depends on the item, but of course, but there's certain items that what I'm saying belongs to certain collectors, and that there's an etiquette about giving those collectors a chance to buy it first, basically having dibs on certain items. So that's today's topic. I have a lot of ethic topics coming up. We're getting kind of down to the wire. I mean, it's middle of September. I'm quitting Garbage Pail Kids at the end of the year. So some of these topics will get pretty serious at the end here. And so I'm pretty, sorry, I can't breathe. I have allergies really bad. So some of these topics will get pretty serious. And so what I pulled out to talk about are some cheap toys and some cards to prove some points here, okay? Okay, so again, what we're talking about briefly, this will not be a long discussion. Hey, Glenn. This discussion is about items that belong to certain collectors, who is the rightful heir of an item, and what's sort of the etiquette when something like that comes up for sale. So let me just do a really simple, just so we're on the same kind of page. In fact, I don't think, let me put, hold on, I can grab it real quick. I'm going to put you down. Let me grab an item. I should have done this already. That'll prove this really quick. Here we go. All right. So just so we're in the right frame of mind, what I'm saying is, okay, when you see prototype Stacy, this is one of my legacy items. Okay, so I have a lot of legacy items, but this is one of mine. I've had it for over a decade. I'm the one that took all the photographs of this one prototype, and everybody in the hobby knows that this belongs to me. So now, if another glue prototype comes up for sale, there's going to be an etiquette about it. So there's actually 11 prototypes in existence. Okay, these are 2 of them. That means there's, 9 more out there. Adam Baum has 2. He has Michelle Muck and Elliot Ness. So the next time a glue prototype comes up for sale, the etiquette, in theory, is that either me or Adam Baum, I'm talking about Adam Thompson, has the rightful heir to the next proto that comes up for sale, because we have the 2 best sets of these types of toys. Okay, and if someone gets in there and starts, bidding up these items, there's etiquette issues that come into play. Okay, do I love this example? I still don't love this example, but I have some more that I can come up with. Okay. There's a general feeling that certain items belong to certain collectors. Does that make sense? On Facebook, how we tag people every time. I said in this series I would not call out people's names. I just called out a collector's name. I'm a friend of Adam Thompson, so yeah, I need to stop myself there. I'm trying to think of some examples where I don't have to call out anybody, even positive, in a positive way. Okay, so like if a magenta cheap toy came up for sale, I have the biggest collection of magenta cheap toys. Now, I'm not the only heir to these. There's some other collectors that have multiple magentas. But if you saw a magenta come up for sale, in your heart, ethically, that I should be notified. okay, you know who to call because you know I have these. So there's a general feeling when you're out there in the open market, when an item comes up for sale, we all pretty much know generally who's going to be interested in that item. So that's what this topic is about, and this is what I want you to be thinking about. There's an etiquette to collecting Garbage Pail Kids, especially at a serious level. All right, so I'm going to give you some more examples. So I have some items that I really shouldn't have, so I'll show you one in particular, and I'll explain why I have it, okay? Yeah, I've had a time with these binders, man. I have too much shit in there. Okay, so here it is. Now, this isn't the only example. So I have an original Bukimi-kun wrapper. Now, when you think of Russ, Van, do you think of Bukimi-kun? No, I don't have any foreign GPK. There's no reason why I should personally have this wrapper. Now, I could say that, okay, I've been around a while. I should have key items in my collection, yes. And I definitely love this stylistically. That's why I have it as well. But the deal here is there's really no reason for me to have this, because if one of these comes up for sale, say this wrapper is on eBay right now, would you think would my name ever come up in the conversation? No, it wouldn't. But there's some people out there. God, I would love to call out some names. It would just make this so much easier, but I won't do it. There's some people that if I saw this on eBay, I know who to contact and say, dude, I don't know if you saw it yet, but there's a Bukimi-kun wrapper out there, and I know you've been wanting one. You know what I'm saying? So there is a kind of an ethics to Garbage Pail Kid collecting, especially with the people that have legacy collections. There's certain people out there that actually needs this wrapper right now. So the reason I still have this, I've had it since 2013. This was given to me by a friend who collects comic books, and he found this back in the 90s in a comic book collection from Japan, and he knew this. Now listen how this worked. He knew I collected Garbage Pail Kids. He doesn't collect Garbage Pail Kids. He knew I did. So in his perspective, this belonged to me. But now that it's in my collection, and now that I work with you guys, I know in my heart, I know obviously that this doesn't belong to me. Now, I did work on a series, a North Korean fan set. I won't get into all that. I did work on that project, which is connected to Bukimi-kun, just thematically. So I could argue that this belongs, it has some place in my collection, but look where this thing is. It's not with my cards. It's not with all my cheap toys. It's way back here in a random part of my book, because I know in my heart that I don't really need this. Even though I love it, there's collections out there that deserves this. This could be better represented in someone else's collection besides mine. On the flip side, some of you guys, this is going to be hard. Some of you guys watching right now, or who will watch, if you're honest with yourself, you have an item in your collection that you know damn well belongs in my collection, because it's better represented in my collection. And perhaps I have things that belong in your collection. So it's kind of weird. Okay, it's kind of weird, but it gets to the point as years go by. Why is Russ still hanging on to this? 2023, why is Russ still hanging on to this? 2024, he still has that? As time goes on, it makes less sense that I have something like this. If I'm not going to use it correctly, if I'm not going to build a Bukimi-kun collection with cards or something related to this, that I have this fucking item. This is just one example. So that's what this topic is about. It's about the item object collector connection. Now, we have a topic coming up, maybe next time, I don't know, about provenance. There's certain items that, if they're in the right collection, will gain power based on the clout and brand of the collector. So let me say this simply. So since I bought this is, the, it's ugly. I know it's so fucking ugly, but yeah, it's really rough. So since I bought this from Smokin' Joe, it went into the, the garbage archive, the Russ fan collection, whatever you want to call what I have. I'm saying that since it's coming from my collection, it's gained even more power. So if I sold this item, it would be an X garbage archive provenance. It would be an X Russ Van provenance, however you want to say it. Now, if you're looking like this, you're like, who gives a shit? But let me change that. Listen. What if I sold one of my legacy items? That's not a legacy item. At least not right now. Maybe down the road it'll. What if I sold this? All right, so this is a topic that's coming up. It's about how to create provenance, what provenance is in collecting. But it is definitely related to what we're talking about today. And today's topic is, when you see items come up for sale, there's a general idea who should buy it. If a Nasty Nick cheap toy came up for sale on Don right now, you know damn well who should buy it. And if it's not one person, it's probably 3 or 4. And that's the honest truth. I'll tell you who should buy this right now. It should be me, probably first. There is a friend of Alex, the guy who created this. A friend of his, a childhood friend, is a collector in Garbage Pail Kids right now. He has the rightful heir to this toy. There's 2 other people that I know of that has big Nasty Nick collections. They have a claim to this toy as well. There's even Nasty Nick card collectors who has a claim to this toy. But if you're honest deep down, you know that this cheap toy belongs to me. And it should that's my point, is it should belong to me ethically. Because it's best represented in the best cheap toy collection. So that's how this is connected to provenance, and that's going to be a topic coming up. I'll do it quickly so it all ties back. Let's see, do I have any more examples of this? The thing is, my collection's so like one like niche that I don't have a lot of like outlier things to like talk about to prove this point. So what would work? Okay, here's one last one. We'll end here. Yeah, I think I can make this work. Okay. So guys, I got this card made back at one of the MegaCon. I forget which year it was. Let me ask you something. Were you there? I was there. Were you there? I sold this card to someone who does not know Baron Aaron. Oh, I said a fucking name again. Sorry. Well, you can kind of read it. Like, if you don't know these people, why the fuck should you have this card? Like, really, there's other collectors who their names are on this card, or who were there, or who has other sketch cards that maybe deserve this more, is my point. There's an etiquette to items, and they belong to certain people at certain times based on what you collect, who you are in the hobby, etc. So that's something I want you to be thinking about when you're out there. You'll see things come up for sale, and you know who should probably buy it. No, I'm not a autograph collector, but some of these mean things to me. Like, this is my daughter's name, so I had Mark Pingator sign this for me in person, actually. So I can make sense of my collection, but I'm asking you guys, are there items in your collection that don't quite make sense? Do they feel off? And that's what I'm talking about. Were they appropriated in the right way? Are there items that you should sell because they probably don't belong to you? They would be better represented in someone else's collection. And so that's the gist of this, okay? And I can't think of any more examples based on the shit I pulled out here. So, all right, guys. So, yeah, nothing came in today, or I'd be opening it right now. I do have a glowing amber toy thing that I bought. It's coming in. Hopefully some more art. So, yeah, we'll be doing some topics like this for a while. But be thinking about, there's a kind of an etiquette. Oh, there is some, I will say one more thing, is what brought this up is there's an item on eBay. I feel like everyone's going to go try to find it. There's an item on eBay right now that everyone damn well knows belongs to me. Okay. And I'm being outbidded on, or they're trying to outbid me. They're not going to outbid me. They're trying to. Okay. The issue there is, I know the two motherfuckers who are trying to outbid me, and they know in their hearts it belongs to me too. So there's an issue. Why are they ringing me up? Okay, why are you bidding me up? You and your brother knows who that belongs to. And I get you can bid on something to a certain degree, but at some point it becomes disrespectful. Okay, why are you ringing me up? You know who I am. You see me bid, and I know who you are. And it belongs to me. And it's just show it to anyone, they know who it belongs to. So there's issues like that happen all the time. You'll see them actually most commonly on Facebook, even though this isn't on Facebook, where people are outbidding the collector the item should go to. So that's bad etiquette. All right, guys, that's all I got. Yeah, there's a lot more you could dig out of that issue, and maybe we'll get into that with provenance. I need to kind of explore provenance. Maybe I should have started with provenance, but so also be thinking about provenance. So what that is you know, when an item goes into a certain collection, if the collection is powerful enough, the item gains more power, or more, significance. All right, you guys have a good rest of your day. I wish I had something to open. I mean, the mailman hasn't come, so I don't know, but all right, Russ Van out. I mean, I'm still keeping this.